is not on your list of places to consider when making a move to North Georgia, you have to add it. It has been quite a while since I have made a video about one of my favorite smaller towns here in the North Metro Atlanta area. Flowery Branch is a small town in Hall County that sits right between Buford and Gainesville, right off of I-985. It only takes up about 6.5 square miles and has a population of less than 12,000 people. There are small parts of the town that sit on Lake Lanier, and this is one of the most convenient locations that you can be on the lake if you need to have quick access to the interstate, especially if you are going to be traveling to the airport quite a bit for work. Flowery Branch sits just before Interstate 985 splits into 85, which means that getting down to Atlanta from this location is fairly easy. Well, as easy as getting into Atlanta can be, right? So what is it like living in this cute little town? Hi, I'm Sarah Maslowski with KeyPoint Homes Group, a local real estate agent helping clients from all over the country relocate right here to North Georgia. Flowery Branch's super convenient location is a huge perk, and the price of homes here is also another great thing as well. Now, I know a thing or two about Flowery Branch because I actually lived here for the first year that we moved up to the area. So just like you, when I was relocating to a different area, Flowery Branch was where we landed for a year to get more familiar with it. Now, one thing that you need to know is that since Flowery Branch is a smaller town, this means that there's going to be fewer home sales, which means that the average sales price is going to be a little bit all over the place because there is a smaller amount of homes to generate this number from. And then you also have to take into account that part of Lake Lanier is in Flowery Branch, so the prices here are obviously going to be a little bit steep whenever you factor in those lake home prices. Right now, the average sales price of a home is $633,000. Now, this is a huge increase from last month when it was $462,000. Now, again, there are not a ton of houses for sale here, and when you have several lake homes that close in the same month, well, it can really tip that number up to that higher end of the scale. The current median sales price of a home is $430,000, and that's going to give you a little bit better view of the pricing here currently. Now, there are some much more affordable options in Flowery Branch. You can find older homes built in the late 90s or early 2000s that are in the low 300s to low 400,000s. Flowery Branch also has several large, newer construction developments that you can find resale homes there in the low to mid 400,000s. And there is plenty of more new construction options coming to the area. They are currently breaking ground on a new construction neighborhood on what will be a 295 home neighborhood just across the street from two other new construction neighborhoods, Cambridge and Lancaster. Building has wrapped up in Lancaster, which is a great new construction community by Chafin Homes, but you can still buy a really nice home in the neighborhood right next door, which is Cambridge, and that is currently being built by Eastwood Homes. In fact, I just helped a client buy a home in here, and I have to tell y'all, it was one of the best new construction homes I've been in recently. They are nice, spacious homes with great finishes, and they're currently selling in the 500,000s. The neighborhood going in across the street will be called Clark Farms, and it is being developed by McKinley Homes. Now, the sign that they have up says the homes will start in the 300s. But I'm gonna be interested to see what that pricing really looks like as they get further along and actually have homes built here. It looks like they're gonna have both ranch houses and two-story home floor plans to choose from, and if they do really stick to that $300,000 price point, which, let's be honest, they're probably talking about upper 300,000s, it's still going to be very nice to have some more affordable options. One thing that Flowery Branch has quite a bit of, and that is townhomes. You can find a handful of new construction options in townhome communities at the moment, and this is going to give you a better opportunity to buy a new home in the $300,000 price range or just above that. You may have heard me mention Sterling on the Lake in a previous video. This is a huge master planned neighborhood that is located right here in Flowery Branch. They have a new construction 55 plus section, a luxury section, smaller resale options, and everything in between. This is one of the most popular neighborhoods in this town, and if you want to learn more about it, make sure you check out this video. All of this is to say that despite Flowery Branch being a smaller town, you have all sorts of options to choose from in this town. It's right in between Gainesville and Buford, which gives you easy access to all the shopping, restaurants, and amenities that both of these bigger towns have while still holding on to that small town charm. And this is one of the things I really loved whenever I lived in Flowery Branch is that you had so many options. Gainesville was only a 15-minute drive north, Buford was only a 15-minute drive south, and so it felt like a much, much bigger town. Now, since I've lived there, Flowery Branch has gone through a ton of development in the past 10 years or so. They have a shopping complex with a Target, Home Depot, and a TJ Maxx, plus they have a Publix and several other restaurant options. There's also several fast food restaurants in the area as well, like Dunkin' Donuts and a McDonald's and a Chick-fil-A, which are some newer additions to the area. Now, there's not a ton of small businesses or non-chain restaurants in the area, but you have a great, charming downtown area in Flowery Branch that gives you some really great options. Now, this teeny tiny downtown area, it's a little town, but it pulls out all the stops for holidays and events. They have a farmer's market every single Thursday, and in the summer, it is covered up literally every single week. They host tons of block parties and 5Ks, and recently for the holiday, they had a big festival where you could come get free pictures with Santa, and they had a lighting of the town Christmas tree. Now, just off the square here is a couple of really great restaurants like Antebellum and Peyton's Pie. They also have one of the best Mexican restaurants there in the town as well that I love to get tacos from, and one of the best barbecue joints that you can find around. The city has been working hard to revamp and revitalize the downtown area, and there are several small businesses here, and there are a few new businesses coming as well, like a new brunch spot, which will be the first of its kind in Flowery Branch. Despite being a pretty small downtown area, there is so much charm and activity here, and the city does a great job of putting on events and making things inviting and family friendly. Flowery Branch is growing at a wild rate, and there have been a ton of new businesses coming all over town, so this area is definitely going to see even more new additions in the coming years. The town used to be a quiet, small little town, but like I mentioned earlier, it has definitely gone through a ton of growth. We have seen several warehouses, industrial buildings, and logistics centers being built here in Flowery Branch. Now, this does take away some of the small town charm for sure, but hopefully once all these are finished, it will provide many new job opportunities for the area. Now, speaking of jobs, Flowery Branch is home to some unique jobs. There is a Mars Wrigley Factor, which manufactures chewing gum, which seems to me like the coolest, best smelling job ever. Another fun thing just down the street from Wrigley's is the Atlanta Falcons training complex. Now, they don't spend too much time here, but they typically host about 10 open practices on the IBM training field here in Flowery Branch during spring training, and it is a free event that you can get tickets to watch them practice. Emory Orthopedics and Spine Center is also located at the same location. We touched on it earlier, but one of the big perks of living in Flowery Branch is its convenience to Lake Lanier. There are two different marinas in Flowery Branch. You've got Safe Harbor Marina and Aqualand, which has a restaurant called Pigtails. Now, Pigtails has more of a barbecue themed menu and an awesome bar. They have a full bar with great shareable mixed drinks and souvenir buckets, so that's fun, and you get to eat that outside on this great pavilion area. This restaurant was featured on Travel Channel's Food Paradise, so you know the food is going to be good, and it is a great spot to stop after a long day on the lake. Pigtails has a sister restaurant called Fishtails, which is located at Safe Harbor Marina's Hideaway Bay, which is also located in Flowery Branch. Fishtails is very similar to Pigtails, but their menu is more seafood inspired. And this location here has a huge sand pit and a kids play area, so this is a really popular spot for families with kids because they can stop and play. Mom and dad can maybe have a beverage and some dinner while the kids are playing. So with Flowery Branch, you've got small town charm, you've got lots of new business and job opportunities coming to the area, and new construction opportunities. What do you think? Does Flowery Branch sound like a place that you would like to call home? I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments below. If you're interested in making a move here to Georgia, I want to be your real estate agent. You can find my contact information below this video. Don't forget to sign up for our newsletter to stay up to date on all things happening here in Georgia, and make sure you check out this video next.